Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report, and I'm here with Linda McQuinn today to talk about something that we have talked about before, but I think it's really important with fishing. You know, we say, if you get a tangle in your line, don't, and you cut the line out, don't leave it on the ground because it can endanger so many animals and birds and so forth. Well, it really can. And recently, our buddy Dave Swanson, who is down on Cayuga Lake, and has an osprey nest right outside his house. So they watch this family of ospreys all the time. And he sent us the picture of how the ospreys had collected so much of not only monofilament, but also blue nylon rope that people may use to tie their boats up or whatever. And they might leave pieces of that rope around. And for some reason, Dave said blue must really attract the birds. They see that blue and they bring that rope up into their nest. And if you see this picture, it's actually Dave has it, I think, out on his website, on his YouTube channel, Up North NY. You can see how this is such a danger to all these birds, and it's something that we really need to be aware of. And you saw the picture, Linda.
I did, and I will tell you that birds in their nesting habits, oftentimes they will look for whatever available materials they want to bring into the nest to build it. And they might not discern between a twig or a piece of rope, especially the larger birds like the ospreys. The problem becomes when the young try to fly and they get caught in these pieces of rope, and they literally can be strangled because they can't get out of this nesting material. With twigs, it's a little bit different. That's more to their natural environment.
And I talked about this on another radio spot before, but as David said, one day they looked out the window and there was this young osprey hanging upside down, caught in the rope, dangling underneath the nest, and it ended up being dead. And this is a real responsibility for us. Like we hear about not using lead in our shotguns and or the lures that we use because the animals pick that up in the marshlands, and it's no different than this. This is a real danger when you have monofilament on the ground, any animal can come along and they get tangled up and anything can happen to them after that. It's really a responsibility that we have as we enjoy the outdoors to make sure we leave it the way we find it and don't discard things that we're not using. Back years ago in the 50s, it was a big, people would throw cans out their window and the roadsides were covered with debris, and this was kind of, we didn't accept this social responsibility that's a big part of everything that we do today. So that's my lesson for today, to really be aware of where you put stuff like this that you use, ropes or monofilament or any kind of line or that can tangle in these animals.
We've talked before, I think, Don, about those plastic, they're like the holders for cans of Pepsi and various types of soda. And if those are thrown out, I've seen videos where turtles have had their heads caught in these openings. So I always cut them up when I throw them into the recycling materials, just because if they get loose, you don't want, an unfortunate accident with a turtle or a bird in the outdoors.
A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about some of these beings that exist around us, but they are our neighbors, and they're part of our same life.
So we should just be picking up our rope and fishing line and anything that we bring into the outdoors.
Absolutely. Until next time, folks, this is Don.